In the 1960s, Lockheed engineer Kelly Johnson was given an almost impossible task by the US Air Force and CIA. He needed to create a spy drone with range, speed, and altitude capabilities that could match the supersonic A-12. The hope was that Lockheed's Skunk team could build an unmanned reconnaissance aircraft unlike any other in order to replace the increasingly vulnerable U-2 spy plane. The result was the D-21. It was a ramjet with wings and a camera, built to self-destruct after its mission. Early tests were promising, but failures to execute correctly when released over China resulted in several missteps and even a Soviet clone. Development. After Francis Gary Powers was shot down in his U-2 spy plane on May 1, 1960, President Eisenhower canceled all crewed flights over the Soviet Union. The United States was in trouble. The incident had brought the world closer to a possible nuclear conflict. Although Soviet airspace could no longer be entered by crewed aircraft, the US government needed to gather intelligence on Soviet territory. The primary goal was to use satellites to spy on the antagonistic nation, but the technology was not yet ready. The CIA decided that drones should be used until satellites became a viable option. Famed engineer Kelly Johnson, who worked on the design of the U-2 plane and the AR-71 Blackbird, was tasked with leading the team that would create the requested drone in October 1962. Johnson was the head of Skunk at the time, and he planned on building a long-range drone reliant on the technology of the A-12 aircraft. The Air Force and CIA required that the drone concept be capable of high speeds between Mach 3.3 and 3.5, as well as high altitude, reaching between 87,000 feet and 95,000 feet. Additionally, they required that the drone be able to travel far, with a range of at least 3,000 nautical miles or 5,600 kilometers. The hope was that strategic targets could be spied on without loss of human life, and in a more reliable way than the satellites at the time allowed. The Lockheed D-21 drone was developed as an ahead-of-its-time remotely piloted aircraft. It could carry out reconnaissance missions over enemy territory at high altitudes and at high speed. It used technology from both the A-12 and SR-71, but had a ramjet instead of the turbojet engines of the Blackbird. The plane was mostly built with titanium monocoque and a few plastic components. It had a wingspan of 19 feet 9 inches and a body length of 42 feet 10 inches. The D-21 could fly at an altitude of 80 to 95,000 feet with a speed of Mach 3.32, or 2,200 plus miles per hour. The drone carried just one high-resolution camera. However, to launch, the drone needed a mothership because of the ramjet engine, which required sufficient speed in order to function. Initially, a modified A-12 called M-12 was used for this purpose. The D-21 drone would take off from the mothership and fly a pre-programmed route while filming. Afterward, it would release the camera module for retrieval from the air or water, and then self-destruct to prevent enemies from reverse engineering the technology. Naval ships would be positioned to retrieve the camera module from the water in case the Air Force aircraft failed to retrieve it from the air. Testing. The D-21 was first tested thrice from the M-21 Blackbird. These tests all went fantastically, showing real promise. Unfortunately, the fourth try was haunted by the drone experiencing an asymmetric start as it went through the bow wake of the M-21. As a result, the drone crashed into its mothership mid-air. The crash happened at the incredibly high speed of Mach 3.25, and although both pilots were able to escape, one of them was lost at sea. Following the disaster, Lockheed abandoned the M-21 mothership project. They opted instead for placing the drones under the wings of the B-52H bomber. The choice was positive for the development, but the two modified A-12 launch planes and the 20 drones built had totaled a cost of $440 million, adjusted for 2019. Several failures followed, but Lockheed trod on and successfully launched the first D-21 flight from a B-52H in June of 1968. Soon after, the program was ready for operational espionage flights over China. The launches of the D-21 from the B-52H planes was established under a classified test program called Tag Board, with the drones themselves being called Project Super Bowl. In a 1969 memo, the Joint Chiefs of Staff explained their expectations for the program. Quote, "The Tag Board drone provides a unique technical capability to satisfy national requirements to conduct imagery reconnaissance operations against targets hostile or potentially hostile to the United States." The D-21 was primarily targeted at spying on Chinese nuclear sites. China had tested an atomic bomb in 1964 for the first time, and the intelligence community was deeply vested in learning about the progression of Chinese nuclear technology and capability. A total of 4 missions were launched to spy on the facilities in southern China that satellites had failed to supervise sufficiently. Another Joint Chiefs of Staff memo from 1969 stated, quote, 93% of the high-priority South China targets had no coverage during the previous 2 months. While they acknowledged that China may be able to detect the drones through radar, they believed that Chinese missile systems would not pose a tangible threat to the project. Still, the flights were incredibly unsuccessful. 2 drones were lost, one was unable to eject the camera module, and the last returned irretrievable footage. On the 3rd try, in March of 1971, the drone completed the journey. Still, according to the National Reconnaissance Office, quote, "The parachute system was partially disabled by loss of the air pickup chute, which prevented an air snatch by the JC-130 aircraft. There's a strong probability that a malfunctioning valve prevented adequate cooling of the parachute compartment during flight of the drone. The resultant overheat condition, sustained for over an hour, could have degraded the tensile strength of parachute components." Although the flights over China were an absolute failure, the program provided early insight into the use of drones. The technology was almost unthinkable at the time, and the altitude capabilities of the drone are impressive even by 2020 standards. After the failures, National Reconnaissance Office Director John McLucas wrote in an April of 1971 memo, quote, "I've become increasingly convinced that we should be expending our efforts on upgrading our satellite activities, rather than trying to continue with air-breathing vehicles. The drones, deemed unsafe and unreliable, were cancelled on July 15, 1971, with the converted aircraft returning to their regular operations." Soviet copy. The U.S. Air Force accidentally sent the Soviets a gift with the first D-21 launch. The cutting-edge drone was conducting its reconnaissance mission over Chinese nuclear sites and failed to turn around correctly. It ended up crashing into Siberia. The Soviet Union rescued the wreck, and according to aviation historians Yefim Gordon and Vladimir Rigamont, quote, "Many leading enterprises and organizations of the aircraft, electronic, and defense industries were commissioned to study the design of the D-21, together with the materials used in its construction, its production technology, and its equipment." The Soviets then commenced work on the Voron project. They designed a supersonic drone for strategic reconnaissance based on American technology. The drone was planned for launching from the Tu-95 or Tu-160 bomber aircraft. Once the drone took off, a solid fuel booster would accelerate it to supersonic speed, when the ramjet would have turned on. After following a pre-assigned flight schedule using inertial navigation, it would return to base. The film canister would land by parachute, and then the drone would land rather than self-destruct. Unfortunately for the developers, the project never moved from the design stage because of the promise shown by satellites. Unlike drones, satellites could not be shot at or captured by the enemy. In the mid-1980s, the United States received confirmation of the Soviet capture when a KGB agent turned over a metal panel from the D-21 to a CIA employee. Nuclear bomber drone. Due to the ever-pressing concerns of the Cold War, the U.S. military strongly considered converting the D-21 drones into unmanned strike craft. Under this tentative plan, the U.S. Air Force would have used the D-21 as high-speed, deep-penetrating bombers capable of delivering nuclear weapons. In a January 1971 memo from the director of the NRO, John McLucas, directed to the Deputy Defense Secretary, McLucas stated, quote, "With respect to your question about whether tagboard should be considered as a drone or bomber, we've done some investigation and discussed this with the Air Staff and SAC. I will be glad to do any additional analysis or other work which you might suggest." The idea of using a drone for nuclear bombs was attractive, as it seemed like a viable weapons platform, especially since issues had popped up with other weapons delivery systems. By the end of the 50s, it was clear that strategic bomber aircraft such as the B-52 were vulnerable to Soviet defenses and fighters. Therefore, the Air Force had to work on developing an air-launched ballistic missile, the Skybolt, and on a cruise missile, the Hound Dog. The Skybolt was delayed in testing, and President Kennedy decided on canceling the program to focus on Polaris ballistic missiles and Minuteman intercontinental ballistic missiles. The Hound Dog missile, however, did enter service in 1960 and was retired in 1978. Still, had the D-21 been armed, it would have had 3 times the range of the planned Skybolt missile with greater speed. The range would have allowed the military to target Moscow, for example, from the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean. The Air Force toyed with the possibility of either having it carry a single warhead or several bombs that it could drop along a route. Not only was the technology promising for long-range attacks, but also for short-range ones. The drone could have flown close to a target area during a potential crisis, inspiring deterrence regardless of whether it actually launched an attack. They would also be easier to recall than a ballistic missile should a mission be aborted. Unfortunately, the failure of the M21 mothership project and the subsequent failures in China meant that the unreliability of the drone also killed any future talks about using it as a weapon. Retirement. Few people outside of the chain of command and Lockheed were aware of the drone's existence. The public only became aware of it once a couple of models were placed in the Air Force's storage and disposition facility at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base towards the end of 1976. By then, the D-21s were in the process of being retired. Some of these drones survive in American museums, and one of the self-destructed wrecks was put on display in Beijing after Chinese authorities located it. The details of the program were not available to the public until March 21, 2019, when several of the tag board documents were declassified.